This is the project video for EDUC111's pre-professional portfolio project. And this portfolio is very important to you as an educator because it is going to be an ongoing, purposeful compilation of the evidence that represents your professional growth and development through our program at HAC. This portfolio is important for you whether you are transferring to a upper level institution to complete your degree in education, or if you are going to be going out into the work field with your 2-year HAC education. This is a compilation of your competence as an educator. So doesn't matter which program you're in here at HAC, this pre-professional portfolio is representative of you and what you've learned within our program. So we're going to start with the directions. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to decide whether you'd like to have your professional portfolio hosted on Weebly or Wix. All of our education students are now completing online portfolios that are electronic, and the reason for this is the future of portfolios, and it also gives you a safe place that is hosted to compile your documents without losing them. Weebly and Wix are both very user-friendly and they are free, and there is the ability to password protect your clearances. So if you upload your clearances onto these online sites, you may password protect them. You can actually password protect your entire portfolio, just if you're worried about that kind of security. The required components for this portfolio include your professional and medical clearances, your philosophy of education, which we will be writing this semester, the signed copy of your Naeyc Code of Conduct, which you've uploaded from D2L into Complio, your initial and signed HAC program standards, which are also on Complio, the teacher signature pages to show the completion of your observation hours in the field. You will have signatures to show you've completed 10 hours at the end of this course. And last but not least, and probably most important, are artifacts related to the Naeyc professional standards and reflections that are attached to each of these artifacts. Now, if you're new to education, you may be wondering, what the heck is an artifact? That sounds like something that a dinosaur you'd dig up to build a dinosaur or something. But an artifact is a course project, an observation, an activity for classroom participation related to the Naeyc standards that show your professional competencies. Naeyc is the accreditor of our program at HAC, and to go through our program, we have to prove that you have met all of the professional standards that Naeyc has for an education program. We do that through each of your courses. So for each of your courses you take at HAC, you are going to have a set of artifacts, and you're going to compile these in your portfolio. So by the end of your program, when you take Education 290 or 291, you're going to be able to show competency in every one of those Naeyc professional standards, and it's all going to be housed here in your portfolio. Please remember that this is a professional portfolio. It should be neat, organized, and look professional. It's your way of communicating yourself to employers, and you want to stand out in a good way. I do have an example of an Education 110 website. It contains basically the same information, and it'll get you started on your layout, and you'll just tweak it to meet our course requirements. Before I show you that sample, I want to show you the check sheet for the artifacts you'll be collecting this semester. For each of the artifacts, you are going to upload what is required, and then you're going to provide a reflection. This reflection is 1 or 2 paragraphs stating how this artifact relates to your understanding of the standard and shows that you can maintain this standard as a professional. So if you look at our check sheet, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Naeyc standards that will be represented in this course by artifacts. So 1 will be your theorist project. 1 will be the floor plan from your classroom environment observation. You'll have your parent newsletter, one of your 15-minute snapshots, a guidance article, an observation on effective teaching strategies, an observation on effective teaching strategies, and your observation comparing the program that you saw to the Montessori method. So over the course of our semester, you are going to be compiling all of these artifacts. And if you can see, the Naeyc standard is basically what you're gaining knowledge in professionally by doing this project. So at the end of the semester, on our portfolio, you will upload your theorist project for Naeyc 1B, and you will, in your reflection, explain how you know and understand that multiple influences on early development or learning are important, and you'll connect that specifically to what you learned in your theorist project. Remember, your reflection is very short. It's about a 1 or 2 paragraph explanation. Same thing for Naeyc Standard 1C, 2B, 3C, 4A, 4B, and 4C. And last but not least, 5C. When you get into another course in education, there'll be a new check sheet for different standards, and you'll upload those, and you'll just keep adding those on this portfolio. So this step in Education 111 is the foundation of your portfolio. So we're going to get it all started for you, and then each semester you'll have a check sheet for your courses, and you'll add in those required components. So last but not least, this is the rubric for the project. First of all, it must be an online format. You must have your clearances uploaded and your signed documents, just as listed above. I would like all of your classroom observations, teacher accountability signature sheets, and reflections uploaded, your philosophy of education, and then we have that big section on the Naeyc standard artifacts, and one for each of those above. Last but not least, we want it to be a professional portfolio, so we're going to be looking at the conventions to see that it is done professionally. Now, I'm going to go back to our sample. And this is the Education 110 sample. It's very, very similar. So what you do is you go into Weebly and you create a new free site. You can name it Professional Portfolio of, and put your name. And you'll probably have similar pages. You'll have a home page, which is the beginning. And it's great to start with a memorable quote or something in education that you relate to. And in this space, you can give a brief introduction of yourself, any background you want to put in there. Then you'll have a tab for your philosophy of education. And this is where you'll put in your philosophy that an employer or a transfer school can read. When it comes to our Naeyc standards, you can see that there are 6 areas of standard. We don't use standard 7 anymore. There's 6 areas of standards though. And if you go back to our check sheet, we have a standard. I'm going to just move this over quickly. We have a standard for standard 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in this course. And so what you'll do is under standard 1, you'll have a page, and you will actually put in the rationale, which is your reflection. You will put in the actual artifact right here. And what I want you to make sure you have is I want you to specifically put in 1B, because standard 1 has several parts. So you'll put standard 1B, you'll give your reflection of why this artifact matches this learning experience, and then you'll put in your actual theorist project right here. Within our course, we'll also have a standard for 1C. So you'll put underneath 1B, this standard, you can highlight and paste it right from here, and then underneath, you'll give a rationale or a reflection as to why you believe your project or your artifact meets that standard, and that's where you'll upload your floor plan from your classroom environment observation. And that can be a JPEG. You just take a screenshot of it, You'll do the same thing then going back to standard 2. You'll start putting in all the 2A, 2B, 2Cs, and then you'll do the same thing for standard 3, standard 4, standard 5, and standard 6. So don't put a standard 7 when you make your portfolio. We don't use standard 7. The standards have been revamped. But this is where your artifact section will go. Also on your portfolio, you will have a section, and you can name this anything you want, but you need to have your autobiographical sketch from the first week, your resume, your clearances, your transcripts if you have them available, and then this is your Naeyc Code of Ethical Conduct, and your HACC program standards will all be there in one place. Last but not least, it's great to have a contact area. In case the person viewing your portfolio wants to reach out to you, they have a direct connection to you from the portfolio. You can make this as fancy or as basic as works for you, but you want to always just go back to the components and make sure that they're all on here. If you follow that general sample site, it works real well for you. We will revisit this again toward the end of the semester, but it's very important that you work now to start compiling the things as we go. Otherwise, you'll be doing it all during finals week, and that's no fun. So get started. Establish first if you want Weebly or Wix, and start building those pages. You can let them empty, or right now you can already put in your medical and professional clearances. You can put in your signed ethical code of conduct and program standards if you have those, and then just set up the skeleton of your site until we have more things to put in. If you have any questions, please let me know by posting on Facebook. That way we can answer them for everyone.